Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today I am in Paris, France, where I will be travelling from Paris Gare du Nord beneath the English Channel to London St Pancras on board a high-speed Eurostar train. I'm in standard class for this journey on one of their new Velaro trains, so let's go! Today's journey starts at the spectacular Paris Gare du Nord, or Paris North Station. The station sees a large selection of services other than just Eurostar, including regional and commuter trains, as well as international trains to Belgium, the Netherlands and North Germany. I just love the roof here at Gare du Nord. Being made of iron and plenty of glass allows for an interior full of natural light. All passengers for Eurostar trains must pass through a dedicated passport control and security checkpoint, found above the main concourse. As such, it is advisable to arrive quite some time before the departure of your train. Presently, Eurostar recommends to arrive at least 90 minutes prior to the train's planned departure time, due to the requirement for the laborious and time-consuming extra border checks in response to COVID-19. As you can see, there are plenty of eateries and shops available at this station, though I did not avail of their offer as I had already eaten prior. The Eurostar Departures area can be found on the high level of the station, which also affords a fantastic view of the bustling concourse below. Gare du Nord is the busiest station in Europe by passenger count, seeing hundreds of thousands of passengers in any given day. To the left here, you can find the dedicated Eurostar ticket office, though I wouldn't expect to have much luck for an on-the-day ticket, with high prices and even seat availability being an issue due to strict Channel Tunnel regulations necessitating compulsory reservations. Time to indulge in culture and begin the typically British tradition of queuing. Now, I had expected this service to be formed of one of the older Eurostar trains, the TGV TMST, this being what was indicated to me on the seating plan at the time of booking. However, due to a decrease in demand during COVID-19, those sets were temporarily withdrawn, meaning I was lucky enough to be travelling on one of their newer, and in my past experience, much better German-built trains. Because of the massively different seating plans, I was issued a new seat automatically at the ticket control gates, indicated on this yellow slip. Checking my new seat, I found it was poorly aligned with the window, but thankfully someone at the help desk issued me a seat with a better view at my request. Anyway, after a security check and clearing of border control, we are now in the departure lounge, which has another large selection of eateries and shops. Many of these weren't open at this time, again due to reduced demand. The departure lounge offers a view of the Eurostar platforms, where my train for today is currently waiting for boarding to start. Towards the far end of the departures area, there is a small elevated waiting area, probably my favourite place to sit. This area has power sockets, and being an international service, both European and UK style plugs are catered for, as well as also having some USB ports. It's also worth mentioning that a more luxurious lounge does exist, but is dedicated only to business Premier passengers, a ticket for which costs more than the regular standard Premier or first class offering. About 20 minutes before departure, boarding is called for my train. My ride today is train number EST 9039. Departing from Paris Gare du Nord at 15:13 with a planned journey time of 2 hours and 26 minutes for the non-stop ride up to London this afternoon. Beside me now is the train that will be taking me through to London. It's a Class 374 Eurostar E320, built from 2015 as part of the Siemens Velaro family of trains, which also see a lot of use in Germany and Turkey, for example. This set is 374011 and 374012, with the trains running in fixed pairs of 8 carriages each, leading to a total of 16 carriages. These units are capable of an impressive 320 km an hour, but only operate in service at 300 km an hour. As you can probably imagine, it's quite the trek if you're in one of the front carriages, with these trains being some 390 metres long. I am booked into standard class coach number 4, towards the front of the train when heading towards London. This is my seat on the left, coach number 4, seat number 93, a forward-facing aisle seat. At the time of recording, Eurostar was only selling every other place, which means I was free to take the adjacent window seat. And naturally, I made sure I took this opportunity. Today's route begins in the centre of Paris at the massive and marvellous Gare du Nord. We run through the northern suburbs of the capital before speeding through the French countryside and enter the famous Channel Tunnel at Coquelles. After that, we emerge in Folkestone, England, where the remainder of the journey is on High Speed 1, the only high-speed line in the UK, which takes us through many tunnels to the spectacle of railway station design of St Pancras International in London. After a short wait, it's time to depart the French capital, on time at 15:13. We're soon rolling along the southernmost section of the LGV Nord, which means North High Speed Line. This key artery of the French railway network connects Paris with Lille, Calais, among other French destinations, with a junction heading towards Brussels in Belgium and of course the route through the Channel Tunnel to the UK. At present, the train is navigating its way through the suburbs of Paris at a maximum of 160 km an hour, but this speed will look rather pedestrian in comparison to our top speed later on in the trip. This is Le Landy, a major maintenance base for all fleets operating out of Paris Gare du Nord, including the Eurostar fleet. It also handles the TGV and Thalys high-speed trains, as well as TER regional trains. It's not long before we are rocketing through the countryside at full speed, passing by the ever-rolling hills of the Hauts-de-France or Upper France region. With the journey well underway, it's now time to take a look at the seat here in standard class. Starting off with perhaps the most important aspect, the level of seat comfort. I actually found these seats really comfortable, offering a nice amount of padding and having a really good ergonomic shape. There's also a generously padded leather headrest, a nice touch I thought. As for legroom, there's ample space here in standard class. Though, do be warned if booking a table seat that the amount of room is substantially reduced due to a somewhat poorly designed table. Beside the seat cushion, you can find a small lever which controls the seat's much appreciated recline function, and if you pull the base of the seat up, you can find the adjustable thigh support, in my opinion a really nice feature. There's also a footrest attached to the bottom of the seat in front. Above this, you can find a small but flexible storage pocket. And here's the decently sized seatback table. Finally, towards the top of the seat is this small groove. Now, I'm not 100% sure exactly what it's for. At first I thought it was good for holding phones, but mine just ended up flipping downwards. Leave a comment if you know why it's here. Beneath the seat you can also find the power sockets, and much like in the departure lounge, international travellers are well catered for, with each pair of seats having a UK 3-pin socket as well as a European one. If you have a travel adapter, as you probably should, then you can use either socket or both in the event that you get 2 seats to yourself. So let's have a look around the rest of the train. First off, there are a few mid-carriage luggage racks situated above a bin. These complement the well-sized overhead luggage racks in providing much needed storage space on what is entirely a service used for long-distance travel. There are also sizable luggage stacks at the end of the carriages. This is a standard Premier coach, which is Eurostar's first-class offering. The interior is the same as in Business Premier, but with a lighter meal being offered, and fewer benefits at the station, like no access to the business lounge or fast-track security. Here in the rather stylish vestibule area, you can find 2 toilets as well as a set of recycling bins. In both coach number 8 and number 9, you can find the bar area. Eurostar refers to this as Café Métropole, though unfortunately it was closed at the time of recording, and so no catering was available. Still, I really liked the modern abstract design of the carriage interior. Having a look at the prices though, I noticed they are very expensive, even by on-train standards in the UK. Perhaps it was a good thing that I had already eaten. You can also buy tickets for tourist attractions in each of the 3 capitals served by the core Eurostar network, as well as urban transport tickets for these cities. After just under an hour, we are on the outskirts of Lille in northern France. Here, the train dived underground to the platforms of Lille Europe, a station which sees the majority of high-speed and international trains serving the major city of Lille. Eurostar trains do serve here, however only the trains to and from Brussels stop at the station, as well as seasonal trains from the south of France, in order to process luggage and passports in what is unlovingly known as the Lille Shuffle. This station necessitates the train slows to just 200 km an hour, but afterwards, the train shoots back up to 300 km an hour, running at great speed once again through the French countryside on this lovely sunny day. Speaking of the sun, there's also a sunblind provided at every window, but I found it wasn't very effective at blocking out the light due to having such a low density mesh. Above the windows, you can find a sliding coat hook. It's a little bit tricky to move though. This is Calais-Freton, the final station on the LGV Nord route. This station is temporarily closed to Eurostar services as a result of COVID-19 leading to Eurostar focusing only on its busiest stations. However, what this station does signify is that we are fast approaching the world-famous Channel Tunnel through to England. This tunnel is a marvel of modern engineering, stretching the 31.35 miles under the English Channel between Coquelles in northern France and Folkestone in southeast England. After numerous proposals dating back as far as 1802, the so-called Channel finally started construction in 1988 and opened to passenger traffic in 1994. The tunnel consists of 2 main portals for rail traffic and a central service tunnel for utility vehicles and emergencies. Nowadays, other than Eurostar services, the Channel Tunnel sees the Eurotunnel Le Shuttle service for road vehicles as well as some freight trains. Now, I'd love to show you the full video of the Channel Tunnel from the inside, but I can't really say that it would be particularly interesting. After roughly 20 minutes crossing the channel, a perfect opportunity for changing your watch to account for UK time of course, we emerge in Kent. The train is now travelling on a route called High Speed 1, which connects the Channel Tunnel with Kent and London. To the left is the Southeastern Main Line, a classic route that also links Kent with London, powered by the 750 volt direct current third rail system. Historically, the old Eurostar trains would have trundled along this route on their way to the capital, until High Speed 1 fully opened in 2007. We are now passing Ashford International, one of 2 Eurostar stations in Kent, southeast England. Much like Calais-Freton, these stations are not presently accepting Eurostar trains due to cited lack of demand. With the journey's end fast approaching, let's run through the price. This trip cost me £75 exactly, booking about 2 weeks in advance. Such a ticket is valid only on the booked date and on the booked train. For a journey of 307 miles, this gives a price per mile of about 25p. This seems fairly expensive, and to some extent it is, but when you remember that the costs of running the train through the Channel Tunnel are very high, and the convenience of running from the centre of Paris straight to the centre of London without stopping in a decent time of under 2.5 hours, it doesn't seem quite so bad. Fares in standard class can start at as little as £39, which is fantastic, but if you leave it to the last minute, it's not uncommon to find tickets costing nearly £200. Overall, I am generally pretty impressed with the Eurostar standard class experience. It's a fast way to get between London and the continent with a comfortable and smooth ride. I certainly prefer it to flying. We're now arriving into London St Pancras International, the terminus station for my train. Arrival today is an impressive 8 minutes early at 16:31. St Pancras International has long been one of my favourite train stations anywhere in the world, not only because of its stunning train shed, but also because it is symbolic of international rail travel from the UK and the many incredible adventures you can have. As I leave the train, why not take a moment to post a comment letting me know what you think of the Eurostar experience. Thanks for watching my video on Eurostar. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to leave a like, and for more similar content, subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you again on my next journey.